Uh, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello and welcome to the Dobsonville Stadium. We're looking forward to this CAF Champions League match, a first round encounter between African Stars of Namibia and Zambia's Power Dynamos. That match coming up this afternoon. Kickoff will be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a first leg encounter, keeping in mind that things should be rather interesting as both these sides will look to take some sort of advantage into the second leg.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dobsonville Stadium for Champions League the match between African Stars and Power Dynamos. Here is your lineup. African Stars. 1, Kamadanda Deriso. Number 5, Vedunua Ambwa. Number 6, Tijarere Maharero. 7, Uturu Ambato. 8, Dunekua Techirere. 10, Willie Stephanus. 12, Edmund Kambanda. 14, Romario Javera. 15, Peter and Leo. 18, Vitali Karunga. 21, Ibrahim Yusuf. Substitution: Carlos Alupidu, Vaitarera Gartini, Calvin Peter, Dion Yumau, Uru Moti, Owen Damaset, Rinhat Gasset, Jackson Johannes, Michael Okono. The coach is Prince George Kofi. Lineup for Power Dynamos. Number 1, Lawrence Mulenga. Number 4, Kodwani Kiboli. Number 5, Faustin Kalodila. 7, Joshua Mupane. 14, Aaron Katere. 15, John Soko. 19, Owen Dembo. 21, Dominic Kanda. 22, Solilani Piri. 24, Jacob Kaunda. 39, Eddie Boyedi. Substitution: Jackson Mulamia, Linon Makwaza, Frederick Mulamia, Moses Munenga, George Ngwenya, Cephas Muloto, Shaun Lin, Kalonji, Willard Mwanga, Longwe Mutalo, and the coach is Chipepo Mwenga.
Africa's Premier Club football competition for the 2023-24 season officially gets underway this weekend with the first round, first leg encounter here at the Dobsonville Stadium, pitting Namibia's African Stars up against Power Dynamos from Zambia. On that note, a very good day it is to you wherever you may be, as the CAF Champions League for the current campaign, of course, gets underway all throughout the continent. There will be matches up and down from north to south throughout Africa, as the very best sides, of course, look to ensure that they do have the best starts to this year's campaign. Of course, the focus here on Namibia's African Stars that will be taking on Power Dynamos, both these sides with a history in the past, and as far as the top flight of African football in these Premier Club competitions, with Power Dynamos having made a bit of history as the first Southern African side to have been crowned continental champions, and African Stars looking to, well, ensure that Namibian football continues to move in the right direction, as we have seen from them internationally over the last 10 years. What we are hoping to see from a Namibian point of view over the next few years moving forward is their club size, of course, starting to shake it up with the very best on the continent, especially considering how well their national team has done and the turbulent times they've had over the last 10 years with the league going off and then being kick-started again. Things are up and running again out in Namibia, meaning that we can see the development and some of the premier sides, they can come out and make some real names of themselves out on the continent. I am Susan Mapena, overjoyed to be in your company here at the Dobsonville Stadium, home of Morocco Swallows, in as far as the DStv Premiership is concerned. And it's worth keeping in mind, we are at that time of the season, of course, when the leagues all across the continent will be kick-starting over the last week or so, having gone into August. So not long after that, of course, the Champions League now gets underway. The Confederations Cup will also be a focus over the next year. And, of course, the northern part of Africa continuing with its dominance, with the southern part, of course, being represented by Mamelodi Sundowns to the best of their ability over the last 5 to 10 years here. What many in southern Africa would love to see, of course, is other nations such as Zambia seeing their clubs, of course, Namibia as well, Zimbabwe as well, shaking it up with the likes of Sundowns and those from Morocco and Egypt in the later stages of the tournament. That's what the hope is from a southern African point of view, keeping in mind here that we do have two CASAFA nations in inverted commas in action in this particular match. Namibia up against Zambia, so to speak, with the Zambian side having a bit more pedigree, I think it's safe to say, respectfully, against the Namibian counterparts. This is a home game for African Stars, meaning there won't be much of a turnout in the way of support here at the Dobsonville Stadium. Regardless of that, both these sides will look to start in the most positive way here in getting the action underway and ensuring they do take a healthy lead, if they can, into the second leg, especially for African Stars playing in this home encounter. Power Dynamos will be looking to, put forward a most powerful display, if not here in this first leg, but definitely in their home leg when these sides do meet again. As things stand here, we are waiting these sides to make their way out of the tunnel. And as mentioned earlier, this is the Dobsonville Stadium, a venue that was opened right back in 1975. And many of you will remember there were many stadiums that weren't necessarily used during the 2010 World Cup for the official matches, but did get refurbishments ahead of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. And this one of them that was used as a training ground, of course. And since then, it's been used quite regularly in as far as the top flight of South African football from a club point of view. And we've also seen some, nations during the international break that maybe don't have the right standards in their countries coming through to utilize this Dobsonville Stadium. So no stranger to hosting guests from abroad, across the borders of South Africa, I should say, is the Dobsonville Stadium. And in as far as the Champions League goes, we are hoping for a good start, especially in the standard between these two sides. Stars will be making their way out of the tunnel pretty soon here against Power Dynamos in the seconds that follow. Well, there you have it. Both these sides have made their way out of the tunnel then. So, for those of you that may not be familiar with these colours, the African Stars, of course, in the red, whilst for Power Dynamos, they're in the copper colours, as the Zambians are so famous for having over the years. So, good experience on both these sides here in the way of their starting lineups here. It should be interesting to view the starting 11s, especially from a Stars point of view, as they do have a good number of players that have had experience on the international stage and that will be looking to, of course, as the home leg for them, steer the side in the right direction, especially in getting this match underway. For Power Dynamos, they themselves will be looking to ensure that they have a good start. As we have a look at African Stars, they will have Stefanos wearing the number 10 jersey. Keep an eye out for him creatively in the midfield areas. He'll be looking to supply for the likes of Adiwo and Yusuf, the international from the Comoros, operating out wide on the left side, while Skambato will be another to keep an eye on in the attacking front for African Stars. Power Dynamos will look to the 21-year-old Mutale wearing the number 7 jersey in the attack here to cause problems for the African Stars defense. Watch out as well for the support he'll receive from Kaunda as well as Boyeli in what is an attacking trio. The referee, Mr. Mukani from Gabon, come a long way to lead his countrymen here, who will of course have the first assistant referee being Obrain Ndong from Gabon, as well as Amos Ndong, another Ndong, the two officials, of course, sharing the same last name. The fourth official for this encounter, another that will be from Gabon, that being Pierre Acho, whilst the match commissioner is Obvious Moyo. Well, for African Stars here, the coach Prince George Kofi will be hoping his side here are disciplined defensively, don't give too much away in the way of discipline, and of course are ruthless on the attacking front here, with what looks like a 4-3-3 formation here for African Stars that they will start with according to the tactical list they've given us coming into this match. For the men from Zambia, it is interesting to see how they will line up, of course, with numbers being piled into the midfield area. That have 3 at the back in the likes of Bukodila, Katebe and Chanda. And in midfield, that's where they look to stack up the numbers here in trying to, of course, once again, free the men that will be in the attacking areas. The likes of Boyeli in your picture, Mutale and Kaunda. So we've gone through the pre-match formalities here. African Stars in the reds, about to attack the goal to the right of your picture and get this match underway, whilst, of course, Power Dynamos from Zambia will be the copper colors, or the orange, if you will, attacking the goal to the left of your picture. Of course, internationally now it is standard to ensure that all the matches do kick off at the exact same time. For those that will be kicking off at 3 o'clock in Central African time here, the CAF Champions League for the year 2023 officially underway here. And for the Namibians here, they will look for a good start as they get their first touches of this Champions League, a club that has spent a couple of years in the past competing in the Champions League. Not the best of touches here, an unforced error, giving away possession. Spoke of the importance of a good early start here and hitting the ground running. Not quite the case for the men in red. As far as experience, the two players that have been there, done that, have the men from Namibia. A good number of internationals in the starting 11. Adiwo leading the line then from a central area, winning the set piece here for the Namibians. There's Ambila, another international operating in the heart of defense here for the Stars. They have proven themselves as a footballing nation to play a very good brand of football. Namibia Not only have we seen their men's side doing well on the international stage, but their female side has also, over the last few years, especially in the CAF stage, come out and done the nation proud, extremely proud. Now that they are able to get the football up and running, of course, they'll be looking to cause some trouble on the club side against the likes of Power Dynamos and other sides on the continent. Early exchanges here with Stars having a throw-in on the far side. Chance to possibly work the ball into the box. Then they haven't quite gotten it together in as far as the passing is yet. Haven't seen much of Power Dynamos in these early stages or early exchanges. This Chanda on the ball. Bit of space allowed to push forward. There's good movement here on this near side by Shiboni, was looking to keep up the field here, operating as the wing back, wearing the number 4 jersey. They will have Soko wearing the number 15 on his back. He'll be the wing back operating on that far side for the Power Dynamos men. That's Jared, man who's also been an international for African Stars. In fact, had retired as an international and has recently received a call-up. He's also played within the borders of South Africa. One of many Namibians now that have made names for themselves within South African borders and have done extremely well. Of course, both these nations will be enjoying having a good number of players that have shaken things up in the DStv Premiership, as it's known these days. Of course, one of the best leagues on the continent, especially from a financial point of view, with many of the players that do strut their stuff, either from a COSAFA point of view or on the CAF competitions, hoping to land a big signing with some of the clubs in North Africa or in the southern tip of Africa with the way of the DStv Premiership. I've seen a good few players of late that have come from the southern parts of Africa. In fact, for a good number of years now, going over to the north to have a huge impact with the likes of Al Ahly, one of the very best clubs on the continent, current champions, the most successful side in the Champions League. Pesitao is one that comes to mind from a South African point of view, representing Southern Africa. Many of you remember Flavio from Angola some years ago as well, doing very well with Al Ahly, as well as I think it was Gilberto, his countryman, playing at the same time out at Al Ahly around 2008. Chiboni. Have seen the defense, including the goalkeeper from Dynamos, pushing forward and moving towards that halfway line. Then, as we just saw a moment ago from the goalkeeper Mulenga, then who's gotten things started here, pushing forward here for Power Dynamos. The early ball with good movement towards the near post. The header was a defensive one, and fortunately for Stars, it went comfortably into the arms then of Desiro. International goalkeeper between the sticks for African Stars. Good touch. Powerful running going forward here from Piri, who's released a lovely pass here, creating the first chance for the Zambians. And it should be an opener then, with a lovely bit of movement to complement the run and creativity from Piri. That's the final product going wide of the mark. Well, Desiro, the goalkeeper for African Stars, would have been a worried man, and with firstly Alpiri got the turn in the middle of the park and was able to push in towards that final third, and the movement as well that was provided to create that goal-scoring opportunity, the best we've seen so far, coming from Power Dynamos. All started with the man in your picture, Lawrence Mulenga, the goalkeeper, pushing beyond the perimeter of his box. And they're getting things started creatively for Dynamos going forward. Now, interesting movement here on this near side. Bit of pace injected into the game here for Stars. It's Kambato. Nice little ball then, looking to set it up for Kambato! Oh, that's a decent strike. It's a proper strike. That's right of the mark, and well, for African Stars, who defensively were broken down a couple of minutes ago, they have come back with an impressive attacking play of their own here. And Kambato involved in a lovely little 1-2 at the top of the box. Mentioned the creativity from Stefanos earlier. He sets it up beautifully here for Kambato, who just can't get over it and keep it. With in range, then to at the very least force a save out of the goalkeeper. It's a great start to the game here if you're just joining us. Both these sides looking to get at each other and play a good brand of football. Vera back to Garuga. Nice turn then in the middle of the park, and it's gotten Stars going forward here. Again, it's looking good going forward, and the defensive touch was an important one after Stefanos looked to set it up for what would have been a clear-cut chance. And the defensive play then, a possible goal-saving defensive play. That was his touch. Nothing wrong with the idea. Defensively, it had to be dealt with, and it was superbly read and nicely dealt with by Bogodila. And African Stars creating a moment then, and looking really menacing in and around that final third, especially with Stefanos getting in the action then. Throw-in taken a little too quickly. I don't think the officials or players in the field were quite ready just yet. So, we're hoping for a good game of football here. And the start we've had here has been really encouraging if you are just joining us, between Stars and Dynamos. Best chance of the game early went towards Dynamos. The response was immediate from Stars. A couple of minutes later, they were creating a great chance of their own. They look good creatively going forward. Then in the fashion in which they opened up the opposition defense was really impressive. And again, it was Stars that went on to create the next best chance then. So, the Namibians have, I think, earned a bit of respect here with the way they've gone about business from the Zambians. Impressive. Now they're holding on to it then with Kachichere involved in the middle of the park. Then again, the shot from range this time won't cause any problems, but it's the men in red looking good and putting their best foot forward. So Lawrence Mulenga, the 24-year-old goalkeeper here. Birthday on the 21st of August. And he played for Kabwe Warriors in the past. Now in the books of Power Dynamos, of course, since the 2017-18 season. Also a man who's played for the Zambian national team. Keep in mind, is the goalkeeper for the Zambians, Mulenga. Played for the national team at under 20, under 23, and senior level. This Kambato look lively here with the number 7 jersey on this near side for Stars. Making a run is Kambato, trying to get in behind that defense. It's well read. Good battle between the two here. Nice battle here on this near side between Kambato as well as Chiboni, wearing the number 4 on his back. Now, too inviting the early ball. This looks way too close to Mulenga then, who's quick to pick up then, and receives a bit of An unfair touch from Adiwo, who gets a talking to from the referee. Oh, it's Mulenga really comfortable to helping build from the back. If you're just joining us, not the first time he's left his box by some distance to try and initiate an attacking play. Now, looking to do likewise is the man on the other side, Nisiro, who's an international himself. Quite as convincing as his counterpart in Nisiro. Nice touch. Zambia's pushing forward, then looking for a bit of joy on that right side of the defense. Again, it's nicely worked out of defense here by Stars. What we are enjoying here is two sides that are very comfortable with the ball at their feet, and do have a good number of ball players. As I do say that, Katebe does cook his ball going forward, then giving away the throw-in. But one thing we've definitely seen from African Stars here, which is a club that may be surprising a few that may not have known of them in the past, and maybe learning of the club and their playing style now. They really do play a good brand of football, and in the early exchanges have had some rather entertaining moments here. Bagodila under a bit of pressure. Mulenga always takes the extra touch with the foot, then even with the pressure on, he's really that comfortable with the ball at his feet. Stefanus early with the ball forward, then, and has played in 3 different continents in his time as a professional. They challenge. Found the guilty party here. Easy to spot and call for the referee, then shows good sportsmanship in offering his apologies. In the opening 15 here, it has been a fairly clean game of football between these two sides here. And if I look to get on with the business of playing football rather than playing the man, just an ill-timed challenge on that occasion from Magaunda. Made to work to keep it alive here on this near side. Ngaruga, but showed good pace and the pressure as well in what wasn't the very best of balls in from his teammates. Stars again taking their time about things here. Interesting to watch Gambato wearing the number 7 jersey. Stays out wide at times, drifts infield into midfield. Is a busybody in trying to find space, and that is the interesting thing with Stars, just watching their movement off the ball and trying to play between the lines here and create problems for Power Dynamos. The other side that seems to have settled quickest. Stars, yeah, they've established their rhythm already. Unable to keep it moving by finding a teammate then, Stefanus. Now, chance for Power Dynamos to power forward on their far side. There's the overlapping run that's used as a decoy as they try and switch it over to this near side. Read by the Stars defense quite comfortably. Space in the middle of the park here quickly. Pressure applied by Gambato. Chiboni looking to the middle of the park. They are doing a good job of ensuring that the Zambians aren't able to string together too many passes here. The men in red working hard when they aren't on the ball. If not winning the ball back, they are giving away a foul then and disrupting the rhythm of the men from the Zambians, as is the case now. So outside of the chance they created in the very first chance of the game here, Power Dynamos, they have looked aside that's maybe struggled just a bit yet to find their rhythm and to deal with the creativity from the Star side that's pushing forward, looking to create yet another chance. Blasted over. Yusuf, a man from the Comoros, in two minds. Initially, it looked as though he was considering the pass to that far post, and then thought better of it. Good pace here. And getting beyond the defender. And that's where they've caused problems for Power Dynamos. They have stars here. They've got pace. They've got creativity. They've also had the bulk of the chances here. And should feel they, at the very least, should be forcing saves out of Mulenga here between the sticks here for Power Dynamos. Great moments they've created, but Mulenga hasn't had to worry about making saves just yet. Interesting thing with Stars is the different type of chances they are creating as well. One on the counter-attack most recently. Then when they've got this man on the ball and his ability to spot the run. Good work in the middle of the park then to deny Stefano's time on the ball. Tembo. Sogo. This is what they want. Piri and company to enjoy some time on the ball here for Power Dynamos and move it about here so they can start to cause problems. Getting into the final third is a problem. And the keeper was off his line. Then the idea wasn't a bad one. They're trying to catch him for the corner, or trying to catch him for what would have been a spectacular strike, I mean to say. As we look back at the pace here from Yusuf. Really is quick, athletic, always considering the man on the far side. Then before deciding the best option would be the chance at goal. Only issue is keeping the shot on target here. Shiboni. He really does enjoy touches on the ball, does Mulenga. Almost every time he's had it, he's pushed on to have 4 or 5 touches, going way outside of his box, then to try and find the creative walk. Believes in his ability to pick out the teammates as they make the runs to the left and right. The game, of course, over the years has evolved to a point where goalkeepers do get involved from a playing point of view. Very much a sweeper-type keeper is Mulenga, as we look back at this foul. I've loved the physicality that both these sides have brought to the game here. And I don't mean that in a way where I'm suggesting there's been many fouls. No, it's just the contest between these two sides physically is a very good one here. And as far as the southern parts of the continent, the Zambians are looked upon as those that do have a good size and presence about them. But I'll tell you what, this Star side as well does have some great athletic bodies out there. Good heights, good presence about them. They're not going to get pushed around here by the Zambians, that's for sure. You see Kachishera in your picture, as well as the likes of Adiwo. Even the creative man, Stefanos, is one that's got a nice presence about him. So as far as the contest physically here, it's a nice one to enjoy here between two sides. Have got some big athletic players that can push on here. Yellow card shown, of course. Stefanos is the man that's gone into the referee's box. So, in the signs of encouragement here for the African Stars bench. They just haven't taken advantage of the chances they've created. Power Dynamos from a dead ball situation, hoping for a bit of joy. Again, there's that physical contest I speak of. The Namibians certainly are putting up a good physical fight here. So Yusuf, again, coming through strong defensively against Soko. Straight the ball in towards that far post. Looking to set it up for the shot from outside of the box then. Should be offside here and is offside. So 20 minutes gone by. And this Euro, the goalkeeper from Namibia is a man who's won the NPL with Black Africa. And the Marine League winner with African Stars as well. Man who played in the Chan tournament back in 2020 is between the sticks for the Namibians. Previously played for VFA as well as PA and African Stars. Spending a year with each club. Part of the COSAFA Cup squad to finish second place. Now, shots was a difficult one on the volley then, especially with the body mostly facing away from goal. Then would have needed to twist the upper body and strike that towards goal. Attempt wasn't a bad one. The idea wasn't bad, but athletically he was asking a lot of himself. Again, another area we'll watch with interest here is the aerial duels between these two sides here, because of the nice matchup physically and in the height department. Once those dead balls and corners do come into effect, it'll be interesting to see which of the offense or defense from either side will get a bit of joy. There's a bit of a wind factor. One should mention here, with the wind blowing from the left of your picture to the right, which means the Zambians are going against the wind here in this first half. May not pick it up, but surely can tell you it is strong enough to have some effect out on that game. Some maybe of the feel that maybe that's the advantage the men in red in your picture have enjoyed so far, and just the general play they've had, maybe because they're playing with the wind at their backs. But they've certainly been the side that gone about business in a fashion that certainly suggested they are enjoying themselves. Here's Ngaruga wearing the number 18 on his back, one of the two central defenders. Can also play as a holding midfielder. The man currently on the ball. That's an NPL champion. Played in the Chan in 2018, COSAFA 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2021. Winner of the Namibian Premier League. And the newspaper cup captain back in 2014. That, of course, is Zangaruga, who's wearing the number 18 jersey for African Stars. Did mention at the start of this game that they do have players on both sides of the field here that will bring a fair bit of experience and know-how into the game here. And we've enjoyed it so far and the quality we've had in this game. Now, spoke earlier of the possible aerial duels that we'll be experiencing in corners. First challenge here will be the wind. But should Stefanos find the right quality, he's got 6 in the box to try and pick out. Good ball, good chance, great chance. And once again, it's Stars with another blinder of a chance. The common denominator for them is it's not on target again. They've had some really great moments, Stars. This lovely ball, beautifully attacked in the box here. Get that on target, and there could be problems for Malenga and the Power Dynamos. And it has been the one respite for the Zambians here. When they have been broken down defensively, Stars just haven't been able to keep their shot on target. Good closing down right from the front. Pressure on the Dynamos here. Tell you what, opening 25 minutes, I've seen a Star side that continues to entertain here and create moments. Here's a chance! Could have gone anywhere, gone out for the corner. It's wave upon wave of attack And Dynamos that are just holding on to this 0-0 scoreline for now. Again, it's Stefanos with the ball in that time and comfortable to defend. And the chance eventually falling to Gambato then. Unselfish in trying to drill it across the face of goal. That defensive touch could have so easily turned into an own goal. And somehow, Dynamos are still holding on to this 0-0 scoreline. Stefanos again, another good ball. Oh, it's a great chance. And eventually, they find the back of the net to African Stars. A couple of corners, a couple of high-quality balls from Stefanos, and a couple of good headers, the best of which being the second. And that's how Stars open the scoring here at the Dobsonville Stadium. Beautifully done. They just kept the pressure on, kept turning the screws, the Stars. It seemed just a matter of time until they found a way past Mulenga. And once they got it on target, there was no denying the men in red. They've earned this goal. They really have. No less than they deserve. Adiwo, the man who's opened the scoring here. And, well, tell you what, Stars could be leading if you are just joining us by a good 2 or 3 goals with the way they've gone about business. For a club that's too many maybe looking to make a name for themselves here on the continent, the way they've gone about business here in the opening 30 minutes, oh, it's beautifully done. Mocking not at its best from Dynamos, but again, quality ball in, well met in the aerial duels, and so far defensively, Dynamos haven't been able to win a corner they've been defending and trying to work it away. Here they are on the offensive end, and they're beaten in the air once again. Now, chance here on the counter-attack here for Stars. They just won't let up. Stefanos, good movements. Pass maybe lacking in quality, then slightly behind Gambato. Played an important part in the middle of the park. He's called for the foul, but he's also been quietly getting on with business then and keeping things moving and competitive in midfield, breaking down a good few of the opposition attacks. Chiboni. Some of the creative touches, even though it didn't work out just a moment ago from Gambato, but some of the creative touches from the likes of Gambato and Stefanos are really, really easy on the eye and enjoyable to watch. That is the thing about Stars that's been so impressive, is the different types of attacks we've seen and enjoyed. They've been deadly from the dead ball situation in the corners. They've looked menacing from counter-attacks. They've also been able to play through their opponents and not necessarily relying on pace and counter-attacks. They've shown different facets of their games here that has really caused problems for Dynamos. Now, space opening up on that far side. 3 getting into the box. Makes it 4 for Dynamos. Header. 1 is a decent header and a good piece of goalkeeping then from Ndesiro. Many years of experience on the international scene coming through then. Bit of encouragement for the Zambians in the chance they've just created a moment ago. Keeping in mind, they're going against the wind then. Powerful play here from Adiwo. They really do have some interesting movements in swapping positions as well. The likes of Gambato and Stefanos. At times you'll see Stefanos dropping into that number 10 position, so to speak, that is mostly occupied by Stefanos. And Stefanos will then move out right to the right side with Adiwo moving out to the left or the right as well, depending on the move and the occasion. They have kept their opponents guessing for the most part defensively here. Taking no chances that time is Zamulenga in getting it clear. Getting the men in red, able to push forward here. That's another of the shots that won't be on target. Yusuf with the opportunity. As that have turned out, tell you what, we'll be enjoying a good game of football. It's a game that certainly deserves more in the way of a turnout here. Hope those of you that are watching from at home are enjoying the game as much as we certainly are here at the Dobsonville Stadium. Champions League very much alive and kicking for the year 2023, and well, this is the standard we've come to expect, and well, the African football fan has over the years continued to enjoy this competition and respect it, most importantly. Numbers growing over the years as to not only the enjoyment or participation from the different nations, but also the fans paying more attention and respect towards the club sides on the continent. Nice turn here. Looked illegal. Challenge in winning the ball back then. Initially from Javera. Referee thought about it before giving the decision towards the men from Zambia. Big challenge for the Zambians has been given the ball in and around the final third as they move it about then with Tembo wearing the number 19 on his back again amongst those two. Lose it in a dangerous area here. Adio, Stefanos. Lovely ball. Now, flags up for offside. I tell you what, the man wearing the number 10 jersey certainly has an eye for the pass. On a few occasions now, 2 or 3, when one is expecting him to have a shot, he's looked for the killer ball, and it really has been a killer ball. On that occasion, unlucky to find Gambato in an offside position. But those two certainly have a nice understanding. Gambato always offering the run. And so far, Dynamos don't quite have answers defensively for what's being thrown at them. Chiboni, interesting attempt to bring things to life on that far side. Defender doing enough to just slow down the Zambians for a moment. Now, chance at a strike here. That pretty much sums up the first half here for the Zambians. Mutale, the man with the opportunity. It's been a frustrating half here for Mutale, wearing the number 7 in his back. The 21-year-olds can also play as a right winger, Joshua Mutale. Isn't amongst the tallest out there, standing at 165. Can play left, right winger, as well as second striker, which is the position he's occupying here today from time to time. And he's had 7 appearances for the Zambian national team, making his debut back on the 18th of March in the year 2022. Had such a steady game in the middle of the park. He seems to have all the time in the world. He really is keeping things together for the men in red. He's got to share that. How's that for confident play from the central defender then, Hambira. And the number 5 on his back. Comfortable with the ball at his feet, able to keep it moving. Middle of the park here. And it's Apiri looking for joy after that far side. Again, closing down in from Stars. They really haven't allowed the wide play from the Zambians in open play to come into effect. Both of the left and right side, they've kept things nice and tidy. But the men from Namibia, including in the central defensive areas, very well balanced. First 37 minutes we've seen from them. There's that lovely work, lovely challenge in the middle of the park, and that's the balance I speak of, where the work that's coming from midfield as well has supported the defense rather well. Well, the side that's won the championship out in Zambia on a good few occasions here, Power Dynamos, finding the going tough in this first half. If you are just joining us, yeah, it's been a good game of football, very enjoyable game with Stars, the men from Namibia, really owning this first 38 minutes. They want to take the lead into the half-time break, I mean to say. Major disappointment for them. And if they are to take it at 1-0, will be the fact that they're only taking a 1-0 lead into the half-time break. If you are just joining us, they've created that many good moments, have the men in red, that they certainly should be leading by 2 or 3. The major challenge for them has been getting some of the shots on targets. Mutale getting on the ball now and looking to get busy. Is Mutale in the end? He's just not strong enough to get the better of the defender. There's Mutale again, drifting out wide to this near side. That's a good ball in there. Very well defended. It was important to deal with that for the men in red, then with pressure being applied then by the Zambians. Good closing down from the front. A few of the Zambian fans may feel there could have been a call for obstruction then, but the referee having a good view of that, seeing that as a good, strong piece of defensive play. Kambato. Stefanos. They are enjoying Stefanos out in the stands here. On a few occasions now when he's gotten onto the ball, they've applauded his ability to keep things moving, stitching it together for the Namibians. Stefanos again coming from a little deeper the side. Again, the movement from the likes of Kambato and Stefanos, looking to create further problems. Willie Stefanos, the attacking midfielder, wearing the number 10 jersey. If you are just joining us, has been one of the men to watch so far in this game. CAF champion back in 2015, Premier League. Went on 5 occasions, also played out in Zambia. We won the Absa Cup. There's an interesting little fact about Stefanos. He played rugby as well up to the age of 16. Now, decent ball. Could be a chance still here. Needed to improvise just a bit then. It wasn't a bad attempt at all then from Chanda. With the way the first half has gone, the dead ball situations on the offensive end could really come in handy here for the Zambians. Penalty was fouled in the Stefanos, but in the end no foul was called. So play continues here with Dynamos maybe losing a bit of momentum going into the final third. Able to take up the defensive structures here, the men in red, slowing them down just a tad. Chiboni. Nicely done. Superbly done then by Ndisiro in working hard to avoid the corner. and ensure that they don't give Dynamos any unnecessary encouragement with dead ball situations here going into the last 5. That'll really be impressive for the coaching staff to witness players working that hard at just avoiding a corner. He really did put his whole heart into that play then, did Desiro. Dynamos with a few fans out in the stands that are employing them to push on here in an effort to try and find a nice strong ending to the first half. Very impressed with so much of the African Stars play in this first half. Defensively, they have been on the money, especially also in the aerial duels. Offensively, they've been deadly. In the air, the couple of corners they've had, they've caused some real problems, including scoring a goal. So, it's all about keeping things disciplined in the last 5 here. So often we've heard coaches and pundits alike lamenting sides having a lapse of concentration in moments such as this when you're leading up to the halftime break or coming from the halftime break. For Dynamos, it's crucial they don't make any more mistakes defensively here to encourage a 2-goal lead going to the halftime break, whilst for Stars it's all about maintaining the lead going into the halftime break. So, here's Mutale. Could be a chance here. Strong play defensively. Top-notch play on the defensive end. Then just didn't give up on that chance when it looked as though he was beaten hands down. Lovely touches to keep it alive then for Dynamo. So, ball in. Man on the far post. Chance could be popping up again. That defense working hard for one another. Well, to their credits, Dynamos are putting up a proper fight here in the closing stages of this first half to try and find a way back into this game here to level it before halftime. Asking some serious questions of the Stars defense. Here's the latest of their attempts, wide of the mark. No real worries for Desiro. Looking to compete here in what's been a difficult first half for them. Champions Champions. Had a few appearances in the Champions League in the past. Major challenge for many of the sides, especially in Southern Africa, is getting beyond the first and second round here. How's that for a solid challenge physically on this near side? Legal as well. Referee had a good view of it. Keep in mind, Power Dynamos, the first Southern African club to win a continental trophy after winning the African Cup Winners' Cup back in the day. Back in 1991. Also finalists back in 1982. Going now into time and on to the end of this first half, and well, if you've joined us late in this first half, honestly, I'm feeling that we've enjoyed a rather detaining first half of football here from the men in red from the Namibia. They lead deservedly, should be leading by more than the one they'll feel going into the halftime break if it stays this way. Also, it should be mentioned they played with the wind at their backs, so it will be interesting to see in the second half how things fare once they come out and look to go against the wind. Power Dynamos have had one or two moments, especially early in the game, that would have been encouraging from a goal-scoring point of view, but goal-scoring chances have been hard to come by. Dynamos now looking for that equalizer. It's a good run and a good ball in. Chance coming up. Lost it over from a decent range too. And, well, the run from Chibon here on this near side was beautifully picked out. And he did so well to find Mudale, who will wish he had a better strike here. Head up, looking for teammates the entire time. Falls for Mudale. Just can't get over it. I think he was looking with the roof of the net. Nicely done here by Dynamos. They really have improved over the last 5 to 10 minutes. Had a really interesting ending to this first half where they seem to have found a nice balance in dealing with the conditions. Also seeing much more of the ball is Tembo in the middle of the park, as well as this man here, Piri, in keeping things moving. Good running off the ball here between the lines. Now, pull in. Here's a chance. Great chance. 1-1. The ending they were hoping for to the first half. Boyeli with time enough to take the extra touch before burying it here. And Dynamos, who over the last 5 just kept their pressure on it, getting better and better, creating their own moments, then playing their best football of this first half, quite deservedly find that equalizer. Tanda, it was who found the movement then of Kaunda. Still had a lot to do here. Quality in the ball in. Time enough to take the extra touch before burying it in for Power Dynamos. And, well, that's beautifully done. Lovely team goal, by the way, from Dynamos. And a great, great first half of football here between African Stars and Power Dynamos. Yep, the Champions League very much up and running in the new campaign. And, well, plenty of good football to look forward to in the second half of this match, including what remains of the Champions League going forward. But what a game of football this has been. For African Stars, they'll feel they should have been leading by more than the one going into the halftime break. They were punished for it, with Dynamos finding their best play in the latter stages of that first half. But good quality between these two sides and a proper Champions League game here with the halftime score reading African Stars 1 and Power Dynamos 1. So let's look back at Dynamos and some of their good moments here. Good hard running between the lines here. Boyeli with the chance early on. I do suspect it may have hit the outside of the post there. That was the first chance created by Dynamos, and then came African Stars. They started to create moments here. Hard running from Yusuf. As well, he had his head up. He was looking for the best option, and in the end, I think quite rightly opted for the strike-it goal. Major challenge for Dynamos, though, was the number of opportunities they had that weren't on target, but were good chances nonetheless. Even from the dead ball, then, one of the best players on the field here today. Stefanos with the ball in at the first corner, and it was a sign of things to come with that header going over the bar. Stefanos again involved with another interesting ball in there. Kambato with the moment. desperately holding on for Power Dynamos, giving away another corner just a few minutes after the initial corner. And replay, we'll see Stefano's doing it again. Mets by Adiwo. And Stars opening their scoring. They'll feel eventually at this point. For Power Dynamo as well. They played their best football really in the last 5 minutes of that first half. We started to come together. They started to create moments here where some of the big men were coming into effect here. They started to ask more and more questions of Ndisiro and that defense from African Stars. Overhead then from Chanda. Again, having pushed forward from the dead ball situation. As this for ball through from Piri. Lovely ball. Great movement from Chiboni. And Modale. Well, I feel he should have so done better here. Looking to play that into the roof of the net. At the signs were there then for African Stars that things were coming apart in the latter stages of that first half. Again, we had two midfielders involved. Yeah, Chanda with time to pick his head up, find the movements, which is impressive from Kaunda. Even better was his ball in finding the equalizing goal scorer, Boyeli, who had enough time to steady it with the first touch and bury it with the second. Credit to Dynamos in this half. They just didn't give up on what was a half where they struggled to find a flow and rhythm. Eventually caught it right though in the last 7 or so minutes of that half. And once they got it right, they started to ask some serious questions of the Stars defense and were rewarded with the equalizer.
Lunch marang yo not lunch man sab culture menga ya umafunga matekwa so alibona African Stars, Power Dynamos FC. David van der Sar.
Welcome back to the Dobsonville Stadium for this CAF Champions League encounter between African Stars and Power Dynamos here. And what's been a great start to the first round, first leg match between these two sides. 1-1 the scoreline after a thoroughly entertaining first 45 minutes where it was African Stars from Namibia that dominated for the most part in the first half, and Power Dynamos who came back strong in closing off the half in the last 10 minutes. So the first to score were the men in red from Namibia. The equalizing goal coming late. We'll get the second half underway. Big talking point going into the second half. Keep in mind, the men from Zambia that will be attacking the goal to the right of your picture will now be playing with the wind in their backs, meaning that for African Stars, who enjoyed the wind in their backs in the first half, they'll now be going against the wind. So it'll be interesting to see whether they are still as fluid as they were for the first half, for the most part of the first half, the men in red, where they really did play some thoroughly entertaining and good football. It's been a great match, and the competitive edge has really been enjoyable between these two sides. And it's been a great start to this year's Champions League, of course, for both these sides, and just from a neutral fan point of view, as we look to see some of the best African club sides rubbing shoulders against one another. So, all throughout the continent then, there will be matches that are worth keeping an eye on. These are two Southern African nations coming against each other here from a club point of view, of course. So the quality of the game here is the one where I think Southern Africa could be extremely proud of what we've seen from these two sides. Good play then and keeping it alive out to their far side. So for Power Dynamos, they'll be looking to pick up from where they left off at the end of a first half, where in the last 5 minutes they really did play some of their best football. Oh, lovely ball, and looked as though a chance was coming up then, but with the near side official's flag going up for offside. First touch looked deadly after what was a great ball for African Stars. Well, they had an interesting story first half for those of you that are joining us here in the second, creating a good 3-4 great chances before they eventually went on to score the only goal of the game so far. The major challenge was just shots on target or headers on target in the first half. For the first one they got on target, they actually found the back of the net in what was the last chance they really created in that first half, but they created 3 or 4 really great moments before that. Good challenge. Conceding the throw in here. There's Stefanis. So go. From the first half, he's always looked to get distance with the throw-ins going down the line from the right side of the Zambian defense. Nice touches. This couldn't complete the pass then after some nifty touches for Yusuf. Just looking to catch up to the rhythm here in the early exchanges here in the second half, just to see how the wind factor is affecting the play from these two sides. With the wind at their backs here, the first side to settle in the second half is Dynamos, which is worth noting, especially in what we saw in that first half, in how long it took them to get going and find their rhythm. Here in the second, going against the winds. African Stars are yet to quite show us some of that rhythm they had established so well in the first half. Disiro, quick with the pickup, looking for the movement towards the halfway line. Last touch off of a man in red, so throw into the Zambians it will be. Keep in mind the officials for this match are from Kapon. Mr. Mukaki, the man in charge of this fixture, assisted by Urbain Ndong as well as Amos Ndong. Sir Pierre Acho is the fourth official, all from Gabon. Dale couldn't get it in behind the defense. They had to work hard to deny the Zambians, who look lively for just a moment then. Nice touches here involving Kachichere now. That's a bit of a disappointing ending to that attack for the men from Namibia. Well, it's taken them a while to get here, but the Zambian fans are a group that's not finding their voice or voices out in the stands. In the first half, for the most part, they would have been quietened by the way the Namibians went about playing their game of football. You can't overstate it enough how the men in red just impressed in that first half. For the first 35 minutes or so, they really did impress. Kept the Zambians honest. Just the pedigree of the Zambians then, that even in the last 5 minutes of that first half, their quality started to come through. They didn't give up in the game. The goal coming at just the right time, one would feel, for the Zambians here. Just before the break, including the spell they had before the goal was eventually scored. They've lifted their spirits going into the half-time break, and you see them coming out here at the start of the second half with their spirits lifted. The game just seems to be lifted in the way they've brought it forward here against the men from Namibia. No. Piri. And the number 22 in his back has been crucial in the middle of the park for the Zambians. He, as well as Tembo in the 90. Under pressure, still able to keep it moving then. Hambira, one of the two central defenders for Stars. Good movement to the far side. It will be a bit more challenging to find quality in the deliveries into the box, then going against the wind for Stars. Good hard running here on this near side. Positive touch from Soko in the end. Just put a little bit too much onto the touch, asking a little too much of himself then. Good movement. Good first touch as well. Just wouldn't roll for Stars then after Gatebe came through positively defensively. Not once but twice. Kachichere, when he plays well in midfield, they not only win the ball back in good areas, but have moments such as this where they have a menacing look about them. Stefanos. Flag's gone up for offside then. With Stefanos again looking to create a chance for a teammate. So Kalonji is coming on here for Power Dynamos. They'll be making a couple of changes. First side to make changes in this match. They have a worry defensively as well then, with the captain looking as though he may be struggling just a bit yet. Bagodila. So they'll still be waiting to make those two changes, but first they'll, I think, want to assess the situation with Faustin Bagodila. See if there is a reason for concern there before they make the tactical changes. First consider whether they are going to be forced into a change. So the aside from Kitwe. And that was founded back in 1971. Will be the first to make changes here. And this match, they haven't made those 2 changes just yet, keep in mind, and are playing with 10 men on the field after the captain had to leave the field injured. She is looking to be allowed back onto the field in the next few moments. Well, I'll tell you what, it's simply taking an eternity to make these changes for Power Dynamos. They still haven't made the 2 changes as yet. Enjoying yet another dead ball situation. And still have their captain off the field. He's not necessarily receiving any treatment as yet, so still waiting for him to try and get the referee's attention. They're still assessing him, I do believe, trying to see if he can walk it off. Moving very gingerly, which I believe is the reason why they haven't made the changes yet. Yep. He won't be coming back onto the field. Then he's thrown the captain's armband onto the field as Bagodila. And the captain's armband now is being worn by Odwani Chiboni. So that's why the change wasn't made. Now they were quite wise in waiting to see what the situation would pan out to be. Now knowing that they are going to have to reshuffle things just a bit with a force change coming their way. Stefanos, good hunt, running on that far side. Needed a much better ball, however. Did Kasichere. Has started the move then. Well inside his own half, and as the ball kept moving, stayed the 3rd man running. Motale on the run, couldn't release a teammate still. It rolls for the men from Power Dynamos, who will be disappointed to see the flag going up for offside. So, finally we can make these changes. Mulambwa is waiting to come on here. Making way is Kaunda, because he got the assist for the goal scored in the first half. Did Kaunda. Beautiful piece of play then when he started it off with a good solid run and then found the pass that released Boyeli. Special turn here from Mutali. Seen him go wide, we've seen him pop up in the central areas as well. New men on the field getting involved in. Galonji. Tranquilly in Galonji. Nicely done in winning it back and keeping things moving in a rather interesting part of the field here. As they probe. Good movement off the ball, lovely little ball, and well, that's solid work defensively. And a real menacing look about African Stars on that occasion. No surprise then to see the likes of Stefanos involved. Beautifully done. Head up. And then a nice solid defensive effort then from Soko in not giving up on that play. Pulled in. Keeper needed to have that touch then. Really does whip in a good quality corner. As the man wearing the number 10 jersey on this near side. There he is. It's done well to avoid the challenge, Stefanos. Has he won another corner? The answer is yes. Seen 3 corners from him, all of them top quality. The last getting the punch clear from Mulenga, who had to work hard to get it clear. Must have gone against the wind here. These corners will be also more important for Stars in trying to re-establish the lead. Keep in mind they scored from a corner in the first half. Kept alive on the far side, impressively. That's good skill. Byline now. Ballin! Ooh, just driven in beautifully. And it's forced Dynamos to concede yet another corner. Could spell this for Stars. Kept the opponents on the back foot. They've had a good few corners, testing them on both sides of the field. On the hour mark. For post keeper Scarman. Well, his touch wasn't very convincing. Just out of reach for the Stars, man. Now the ball in there! 2-1! Pressure, real pressure applied by Stars, and well, they just kept those balls floating in from the left and the right, time and time again. And in the end, a beautifully converted header, and it's Gamanda that gives them the lead once again. Well, we highlighted the importance of the corners, especially against the run of play, and well, Stefanos just keeps whipping them in. The touch, yes, is there, but it's not the greatest of touches, and they keep the numbers inside the box here. Now, all you can ask for is another quality ball, and that's exactly what they got. And the pressure stayed on, and eventually the Power Dynamos defense cracked, and it's African Stars that crack on again. Well, what a game of football this has turned out to be. How both sets of players have kept the opposition honest at all times is what's been most impressive. The competitive edge between these two sides has made for a lovely hour of football. Really is an enjoyable hour of football if you are just joining us. The quality out there means we could see more in the way of goals here. Dynamos have come from behind once before. Haven't enjoyed too many corners themselves, so here they are with the corner, winning their backs now. But as we've seen from Stefanos, it all starts with the quality in the ball we played in. Near post. Defense kept honest at the expense of another corner. The 21-year-old Mutale to whip in yet another. 6 in the box. Far post this time. Now, chance of the counter. Doesn't quite fall for Stars yet. Outside of the foot. Looking for the movement was Yusuf up ahead. Here's a man who's had a good game. Creatively, he's been on the money. Stefanos, one player that's maybe faded a bit. And I say that respectfully here. The second is Gambato was so involved and combined so well with Stefanos in the first half. Not quite having the same effect here in the second. Oh, he is out to the far side. Only the 7 on his back. See, with the wind being what it is now, of course, players like him may struggle just a little bit more now. Meanwhile, tell you what, one man who stepped up his game somewhat here is Mutalewi, the number 7 for Power Dynamos. He's getting very involved here in the second half. Piri. Mutale allowing it to run on. Well, you know, the fans are thoroughly enjoying the game when they applaud even the headers clearing the ball. It's been that enjoyable a contest between these two sides that those that really have turned out here have been rewarded with a really good showing from both these sides. Internationals on either side of the fields, as is the case here for Desiro. Many of you may recognize from the CAF Cup with Namibia. Nicely done and bring it out wide to this near side. Now, Yusuf. Good numbers back defensively for Power Dynamos, able to deal with the danger. Now, could be problems here. Seems to have all the time in the world at times. Does Stefanos. Plays at his own pace. So, going into the latter stages now of what's been a lovely contest. And continues to be. A little early, one would think, for time-wasting tactics. They know how hard they've worked to just get back into the lead here. And how tough South Dynamo's team is. Won't come as a surprise when they start to eat away at a few seconds wherever they can. Especially having the lead on their side. Good ball and interesting run being made out on that far side. With that understanding between Gamboto and Stefanos again, looking to come to the fore and cause a problem or two for the Zambians. Well, we've come a long way over the years with regards to the game in the Champions League on the continental front from a club point of view. Mentioned in the first half how the interest has just grown over the years, which is beautiful to see. Also, from a broadcasting point of view, with so many games now being televised, that it's rubbed off on the standard of refereeing, which was a talking point some 15 years ago. That's no longer a talking point. It's just gotten better and better. The general standard of the game has improved. And with the Champions League, from an African point of view, improving, it's rubbed off on the international stage as well. Many do believe, with the African teams now being as impressive as they were at the last FIFA World Cup. Then slowly but surely moving in the right direction for the continent. Well, they've worked hard. A few players will begin to feel the effects of the work they've put in. And one player I do believe maybe feeling it physically is Gamboto. So, football all across the continent. I mentioned at the start of the broadcast then. Out in the west, Madiema of Ghana up against Remo Stars of Nigeria is a game many will be looking forward to. St. George of Ethiopia away to KM. Good movement. Ball in isn't bad. Defense kept honest. Italy's really had a great second half here for the Power Dynamo side. Looking for the equalizer once again. Settling for the corner. Former African champions Enyimba away to Al Ahly Benghazi. As Power Dynamos look to make yet another change here. Waiting to come on. Go to make way is Salulani Piri. giving a good account of himself alongside Tembo in the middle of the park. And it's Frederick Manambia who comes on in his place. This ball, it's a good ball! Oh, it's a lovely header! Flag has gone up though, it won't count. And they'll be wondering why. Straight from the corner, the flag went up immediately as the ball was in flight. And it's left the Dynamos players a little bewildered here as to what the decision is. As I've seen, Soko denied what looked a lovely header. And yet another quality corner. Tonight the neutral could have been a fourth goal here in just the enjoyment. Now, have a look here. The ball maybe curl out of play and then back into play. I suspect that's the reason that it curled out of play and then curled back into play. And that's the wind maybe playing a part in that. Wasn't too much of a protest from the Dynamos players. To their credit, they just went on with life. Keeping in mind, Orlando Pirates away to Chapal. From a Botswana point of view, Jwaneng Galaxy will be up against Vipers. Likes of young Africans from Tanzania in action as well this weekend. AS Vita Club will be out in Angola. North Africa will see Constantino of Algeria up against Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia. Which will be a nice derby match there to enjoy. Southern Africa has enjoyed the 72 minutes of this contest here between African Stars and Power Dynamos. Again, this game suggests there could be a goal or two more in it, so wouldn't advise you turn away. Portland, they now are beginning to become a real threat themselves on a dead ball situation. Boyeli, big powerful man, looking for his second goal of this encounter. Stars will be making the change here. Susmawe is the man that will be coming on. And Yusuf, who's also the good game here, the man from Comoros, the international. Giving a good account of himself. Keep in mind, the second round will see the likes of Wydad, Esperance de Tunis, Belouizdad, Horoya, Al Ahly, Pyramids, Sundown, Simba, Petro de Luanda, and TP Mazembe getting involved in the Champions League. They all will have a bye in this first round. So the heavyweights will come in to throw their weight around. So, out in Namibia, they'll be wondering if the men in red can hold on to this 2-1 scoreline, if not extend it. So in Zambia, we'll be hoping Dynamos have it in them to find yet another equalizer. Motale getting things going in a lively fashion out on that far side. He's got pace, real pace to burn. Now, again, the pace causing problems. Again, is Mutale, who's just up the level here in the second half here, and has really, really come into his own here. Well, he's got 6 to try and aim for. Make it 7 now that Dynamos have in that box. So they're really feeling adventurous. It was the far post, big men throwing their bodies around, and one of those big men, of course, is Ndisiro. As soon as he gathers and relieves the pressure of his teammates, the supporters show their appreciation for his hard work. Just over 15 minutes remaining. Well, that's a great start. And just the quality of game and the entertainment levels we've had here. Keep in mind, these sides go at it again on the 26th. In what will be the second leg. Game will be played at the Levi Wanawasa Stadium outside in Ndola. Beautiful part, of course, of Zambia and Ndola, for those of you that are familiar with the Copper Belt area. Remember the COSAFA Cup from 10 or so years ago, being hosted out in Ndola. Really had a good time out there for a couple of weeks. So they've got some football to look forward to. And our promise is to be a very good game of football here between these two sides as they go toe-to-toe and blow for blow once again. Mind that actually Nyimba will also be playing at home in Nigeria. There's Ndisiro again. Upside workloads, especially at a time when his teammates will need him to come to the fore more. He has to leave as much pressure off them as he can, and just helping them see out the result if they can. Nice to see him looking to take responsibility, however. Nicely done here in the build-up, and so the flag had gone up for offside here on this near side, including the connection that wasn't quite true from Kalonji. Tranquilin. Well, a few players out there have really given it the all and maybe beginning to feel it physically. The Stars do have a man that's down. Adiwo, scorer of the first for Stars, was the man that didn't need all too much attention. Didn't take too long till he got back up onto his feet. One player's getting stuck in here for challenges here as we move in towards the latter stages of the game. Well, you can tell they're in a hurry on the Zambians here, looking to get the ball back and get the ball rolling as quickly as possible. Matale. Well, with the way they've gone about business, you can understand maybe the belief they've got in themselves of possibly having an equalizer in them. Keep in mind that they did have a goal disallowed from a corner in the second half. They've also been quite impressive in the way they've carried themselves in out-and-out play. So looking to keep the pressure on here. Men who went and scored a late equalizer at the end of the first half, looking for a late equalizer at the end of the first half, second half as well. 6-7 back defending for Stars. That's how you know they're being kept honest here by this Dynamo side, the way they've gone about business. Ball rolling here, and the ball in. Well, just before the throw-in was taken, Stefanos went down. Dynamos went and played on. Of course, playing to the whistle or the lack thereof. Nothing wrong from Dynamos, but just the timing of how things happened then. Because he was the one watching the run that was initially being made, Stefanos. So I think he's saying they must prepare to make the change. Out of the bench, I think that's a suggestion he is making with his body language, not too sure. You see the Zambian players surrounding him then. They are looking to hurry the referee from Gabon along here in trying to make sure there is as little time wasted as possible. Another who's feeling the effects late in the day here after a good showing in the game here, Stefanos. Header. Wide of the mark. Kudos to Dynamos. The way they're able to get that intensity going in the latter stages of halves has really been impressive. Few fans here getting behind them, hoping for another late great equalizer. Gets Jere. Now we see less and less of this man, Mulenga, in the latter stages here of this second half, especially since he's conceded the second goal. The side may not have created too many chances, but they've been hard at work at trying to find the equalizer. Soko. Movement is good from Mulenga here. Under pressure. Forces the throw-in. Well, he looks to get distance on the Soko. In towards the near post, comfortably dealt with by the heavy numbers back here for Stars. Keepers come, and well, for once there's a communication breakdown then that's, well, as well. So the ball being put out for the corner. Marrero, and that's conceded the corner. This is the midfielder and was called up for the national team back in 2019. Seven in the box again here. Near post! Oh, they needed everybody back defending then. Another ball in there. There's a chance. Flags up for offside. Well, they are applying pressure, trying to force the error. Dynamo sending as much as 7 into the box for these corners and the dead ball situations. And well into the last 10 minutes of the game now. It won't be a surprise to see more of these sorts of moments taking place. Desiro suggesting he's taking a knock to the lower back. No, both these sides have really been impressive with the quality of the set pieces they've given us in this match. Really impressive. Mulenga as well as Stefanos in just keeping your position honest and having to defend the set pieces and work to either get them away or get punished. On very few occasions have we seen a dead ball situation where the ball is just wasted. Won't be in a hurry look to take some of the rhythm and flow out of the game here for Dynamos, who look to increase the intensity going into the last 5 minutes, as was the case at the end of the first half. Good hard work then in winning it back by Unombwa. Amongst those who's coming off the bench to get nicely involved, wearing the number 17 on his back here. There he is, looking to ensure that the ball is rolling as quickly as possible. He's amongst those that's added value coming in off the bench. Nicely done. Now 3 in the box then, and the ball in towards the far post. Could be a chance. Down! Overhead didn't quite work out then. With Atiwo looking for something truly special in trying to end it all here in as far as this contest. Last 5 minutes. Well, the Stars fans will be hoping here for a counter-attack that could lead to Dynamos being punished for being adventurous late in the game. They don't have a choice, Dynamos. They have to go for it. Tell you what, there's a good contest to look forward to out in Kitwe come Oidola come year 26 where these sides meet again. Really good contest. Out in Namibia, they should be really proud of the way Stars have started this campaign here. They've earned everything they've gotten in this match with the way they went about business in the first half. Against the wind in the second, still able to grab the lead once again. You have to credit them for that. They've earned everything they have gotten here in this match. And they've kept Dynamos truly honest here. 22 Dynamos, they just aren't giving up on the fight. 4 they come once again. 3 in the box. Poland! Just couldn't get over it. Kulambwa coming in from the blind side then. Well, after what would have seemed a long off-season, where transfers would have happened and players would have moved this way and that, clubs would have looked to improve in their personnel and sometimes their coaching departments to build upon what they did last season. Eventually, of course, we all look forward to August when the seasons do get underway. League seasons all across the continent, all across the world. Champions League here on the continent, very much alive this weekend and pushing on to capture the imaginations once again. Stefanos. Well, they just want to keep it on that far side of the field for as long as possible. In the trying moments of this game here with Stars, they won't be in a hurry. To the CAF Confederations Cup as well, something to look forward to. The different cup competitions all across the continent. Also nice to see in the off-season some of the bigger sides traveling to different countries on the continent to play each other in pre-season friendlies. That's something we're hoping grows as we go forward on the continent, as we continue to grow our beautifully African game. Nicely done by the Zambians. They, of course, have come through a good off-season where their national team was amongst those that impressed in the CAF Cup down in Durban. And maybe again with Stefanos here, lovely run, protected the ball well. In the end, he's isolated and still going, taking on 3. The shot's eventually coming in. Well, it would have been a lovely, brilliant solo effort had he been able to finish it off, but he did so well to keep that move going on his own. So, from a Namibian point of view, Stars will have won over a few fans. I do believe they would have also seen a few of their players make name for themselves with the display they put forward here today. We hoping they continue in the same regard, no matter what the result come next week and the months and years to come. With the national team having done as well as it has, despite their troubles down in Namibia, it's nice to see that the club football scene has a few stars for us to enjoy currently and in the future as well, as has been the case with the national team. 90 minutes have come and gone. We're into time added on now. Good pressure. Superb pressure applied to force the error from the defender. Stefanos looking to drive it in towards that far post. Time very much going against Power Dynamos now as they power forward. Solid challenge. Oh, that's a well-timed and well-placed challenge as well. At a crucial time in the match. So Stars fans here hoping their side can hold on and start off the Champions League campaign in the best way possible. Kachijera now, powerful run straight down the middle, wants to return. Sensible play then from Stars. Yes, Kachijera had made that long hard run, but they've held on to the ball and eating away at the clock. Working hard, other men in reds. Have given it everything. Disappointment. It's looking as though it will be for the Power Dynamos fans. Still could be time for late drama here as Mutale drives forward. Defensively, not putting a foot wrong, our Stars. Can Dynamos find a moment of brilliance here in the dying seconds of this game? Ball in. Well, there's a chance. Surprise. Chiboni. And, well, late in the day then could have had a chance, a real chance then. The overlapping wing back. Yep, it's been that sort of day. I mean, competitively, they really have taken it to each other. Still at the start of the season, so a good preseason would have helped. But players will be feeling the effects here. It's been a demanding game here. Truly demanding game for both these sides physically. Yellow card for the goalkeeper then, I do believe, for time wasting. Desiro. Well, they'll still be looking to make a change here. We've had a considerable amount of time added on to the end of this first or second half. Dynamos not giving up on the cause. Running into a brick wall that's tough to blow down here. Time and time again they try. Time and time again the big men holding up that big red wall remain stubborn. Well, it's all about eating away at the clock now. Killing some of that momentum. With their socks off. And you can see he was struggling a minute or two ago when he went to ground, and with Alta having been fouled, that being Javera. He also had to come from the far side of the field to make his way off, so yeah, it's taken a while. This will be a hard-earned win. Referee from Gabon still allowing play to continue here. We're moving on to the 6th minute of time added on. Can't remember there being too many stoppages in the second half. We might actually move on to a 7th minute of time added on at the end of this game. I'm going to look at the referee. He's yet to glance at his watch for quite some time now. Dynamos, late in the day, looking to create something here. He has a chance! Oh, that's gone narrowly wide. Looking for that late dramatic equalizer. Found the man who did it at the end of the first half, unable to do so at the end of the second here. As Aboyele sees his shot go just wide, with Desira, the goalkeeper, watching on and praying, really. Play starts to the Champions League campaign here for African Stars. A hard-earned win in this first leg encounter against Power Dynamos, but a quality game in the Champions League starting, and they should be proud out in Namibia for the display shown here. They've worked hard and have earned everything they've gotten with the 2-1 scoreline. Stefanos with a couple of assists, with a couple of goals coming from a couple of corners, and well, for Dynamos, they found the equalizer late in the second. First, thought they'd equalize in the second only for their corner to be disallowed with a goal from then. They worked hard and still asked questions of African Stars, who remain stubborn and earn the advantage they take into the second leg. At the end of it all here at the Dobsonville Stadium, it's African Stars 2 and Power Dynamos 1.